Hey guys, my name is JessiMew, and welcome back to Slime Rancher. In the last episode, we started our very first free-range slime experiment. Now the wilds are home to just the mosaic tabbies, solely the rainbow princess and her court. That way they'll have plenty of room to go hopping around. They have all of these silver parsnips they could ever wish for. And I think our queen over here is pretty happy about it. She looks happy anyways. She has so many friends to watch over now from high atop her throne, and she even has her busy little bubblegum bees to take care of all of their plorts. So far, everything has been working as intended. It seems like all of the tabbies are staying right by the food, so they're not getting into too much trouble over here by the edge. But if we spend too much time here, I have noticed the tabbies tend to come after us. I mean, they're very, very curious creatures. They do like to come over and boop little Bia on the nose. So we have to be mindful about who's watching us when we are close to the bee's workspace. You see this? They come right over to say hello. They are the cutest things and I love them so much, and I desperately want to see you guys survive, okay? Don't go flying off into the slime sea while we're gone. We have pretty big plans for today too, after all. We're actually going to spend some time overhauling the Overgrowth this time. I thought this would be a pretty good place for us to start next. We have so many of these mint mangoes just sitting around. And if we could get some bees giving our honey slimes the mint mangoes, I think that would definitely increase productivity here. That does mean that there is quite a bit of moving around that we're going to have to do though. And I figured the best way to section off these slimes is to put all of our carnivorous slimes, our tangle tabbies, our hunters, into the main portion of our ranch. That'll give us more room to work with, so we'll have more space for all these chickens that we'll need. And wait a second. Oh, it looks like a couple of our slimes are actually going hungry inside their corrals. Well, that's awfully strange. Maybe we need to increase the speed that the food is being let out then, because all of their auto feeders are like completely full. Our bees have been doing a very, very good job keeping track of them. So yeah, we'll take a little bit of finagling, but I think that this would be the best place for us to raise all of our pickiest eaters. And how fitting is it too that we have two carnivorous gordos right inside the ranch here. I feel like this would be a pretty good spot to raise them just because of that. So maybe if we get rid of this coop, since I moved all the chickens out of it anyways, we'll demolish the coop and build a brand new corral where we can hopefully move our tangle slimes for now. So we'll need some nice high walls, the music box, the air net for sure, and then that plort collector and the auto feeder as well. Then it's just the very laborious task of bringing each and every one of the slimes over to the main portion of our ranch, but thank goodness the Overgrowth isn't too far away. So I hope you guys aren't going to be too mischievous in your new home. There's only 3 of you, so surely you can't cause too much trouble. We do know that the tangle slimes can reach out of their corrals to gather up food though, and I guess that's the main concern. That was why it seemed like a really good idea for them to live in the Overgrowth, because I thought it would let them basically just munch on their own food. But I think the chickens are a little bit too wise to their ways. It seems like they never get close enough, and every time I come back, the tangle slimes are starving. So hopefully this is going to be a better life for you guys. That's the only reason why I'm doing this. Pretty soon, you guys are going to have your own butler bees too, tending to your every whim. That does mean that we're going to need to find a space for our hunter tabbies as well. And I think for their corral, we're actually going to move our happy little rad tabbies to the grotto. The grotto seems like it would be the best place for them aesthetically. Not only do we find plenty of rad slimes over in the Indigo Quarry, but I mean, they would be pretty nice in here, lighting up the caves for us. And I'm sure that our phosphor tabbies would really appreciate the extra light too. So my plan is to move most of the veggie-eating slimes into the caves. Then we should be able to just like pump this silo full of veggies from all of our different gardens. And then our bees can come over here and distribute them to all of our slimes. Oh my goodness, and look how many veggies we have in this garden. Oh, I did not know that there were this many. The only problem with moving our veggie slimes over here is that we will need to come up with a new location for the incinerator and all of our fire slimes. I actually thought that maybe, and stay with me here, maybe we could bring them to Puddle Paradise. I know that's for the puddle slimes, so it's a little bit unorthodox, but we could make it like a split realm maybe. Fire and water, if that makes sense. I'm sure they could find a way to coexist. But with all of these veggies packed away, we should be safe to get rid of this one for now. So let's go ahead and demolish our plot, our wonderful garden, and we'll make yet another corral to move all of our rad slimes into. Oh, I forgot that this was tricky business. Bea is going to have to move really fast and she's getting stuck on the walls. Oh my goodness. Just barely. That bar was almost completely full. Maybe we're going to want to splash our slimes with a little bit of water before we transport them. I think you guys have said that splashing our rad slimes with water should make it so that aura is a bit smaller. I think? Oh my gosh, it almost looked like he completely disappeared. Well, it's definitely working, so it should be much easier for us to move you guys now. There we go. It's not hurting us one bit. As long as we can get past these walls, though. It seemed like they were kind of trapping her for some reason. I guess it's because that little rad tabby was particularly round. He must have just eaten his fill of oka-okas for the day. Now, I do know that the phosphorus slimes aren't veggie eaters, so it'd probably be a little bit more efficient to move them elsewhere. But honestly, I don't mind coming in here to check up on them every now and then. We have plenty of Q-berries in the silo, and Beatrix can just tend to them personally. The phosphorus slimes are a bit more sensitive anyways. I feel like they would need a very calm and patient hand, but maybe our little bee drones aren't right for the job. I just really can't imagine having our grotto without the phosphorus slimes. Like, I have considered making them a brand new corral with those special, like, solar panels? Is that what they were called? It blocks out all the light, so we wouldn't have to worry about the phosphorus actually disappearing. Oh, we're getting stuck with this guy too. Can we go over? There we go, that's a bit mysterious. Only some of our largos can't seem to fit through that door. But yeah, the grotto is definitely the right place for the phosphorus slimes to be, and I just can't imagine this place without our happy little fireflies lighting up the way. So this is where they're going to stay. And here we go, the final largo to move. Now it's just a matter of bringing all of their oka-okas over to the auto feeder, because we don't want all of those going to waste. The bees did a very good job of making sure that this thing was stocked at all times. That's why I would imagine that even without the gardens, we should be fine to let the bees just do their work, as long as we make sure that the silos are always stocked too. You see those hungry faces of the boom slimes in the corner? That's why we need to just have a dedicated area for the chickens, I feel. So hopefully all of this hard work is going to increase your quality of life. There we go. Now every last one of our hunter tabbies is moved over to this corral too. Oh, did we not take all of the oka-okas? Well, that's strange. Oh, I think the bees are still filling this place. Oh my gosh, they must have thought the rat slimes were still inside. Yeah, even as we were moving them. Oh, they work so hard. I'm sorry to make you come all this way for nothing, little guys, wherever you are. Yeah, there you are. Oh, they're looking very confused. I hope he's not putting the carrots inside there now. I know for a fact that the tabbies are not going to enjoy the carrots. Oh shoot. I think they are going straight for that corral. We're going to have to change that guy's method of feeding our slimes very quickly. I know the tabbies like to play with the carrots, but they do not like to eat them. I do have some chickens in here already. 15 normal hens and a bunch of roostros. So I suppose now would be a good time for us to change things up. We might as well, because those carrots have got to go. So we're going to look for meat inside the silos, and you can deliver them to our auto feeders. And hopefully that is going to save our slimes from being forced to eat all of these carrots. Did you just dump them on the ground? What? Okay, Mr. B, I see how it is. He put 50 carrots inside of this auto feeder. Oh my goodness. You guys would have been the carrot kings! And unfortunately, some of our hunters are already getting quite peckish. So hopefully our busy little bee is going to be delivering them some food very, very quickly. So now that that situation is cleared up, I think the next thing we'll need to do is start making some more of those bee drones, because we'll have to set those up inside the overgrowth as well, sooner rather than later. And how's everyone doing over here? I don't think I've actually checked the lab in a while. Some of our poor little bees were getting very, very thirsty. Even you over here, thankfully it wasn't enough to completely put them out of commission, but I feel like it would have happened very shortly. So let's go ahead and scoop up some more of these pink plorts, since we always seem to need these. We'll grab as many as we can possibly carry. Oh, our pink dervish slimes are giving us so many more, thank goodness. Yeah, this is going to be a really excellent way for us to make even more of those decorations. Thankfully, the bee drones themselves didn't need the pink plorts. They're one of the very few things that don't require any pink plorts to make, but they do take quite a bit of honey. So we'll definitely need 2 for the overgrowth, and then I suppose we might as well make some more. Only 1 more because unfortunately we're out of jellystone, but at least we could pop that down in one of our other locations. Maybe even inside the grottos, so we'll know that all of our veggie eaters are going to be nice and full too. But first things first, let's make sure that we're taking care of our honey slimes. We have our honey hunters way over in the corner. And oh my gosh, look at the state of their corral. Oh, you can tell that I have really neglected the overgrowth. I don't think they have any room inside their auto collector anymore. They still have plenty of mint mangoes, but pretty soon their corral is going to be overflowing. So let's see, where can we place down our bees? Oh, we could actually put them up here. Oh, this would be the perfect spot for them. Right up on top where they can overlook all the land. Yes, this can be like our little beehive. Okay, let's go ahead and place 1 drone over here. 1 drone over here. And then I think we're going to need another market link too, which unfortunately I don't have, so it's going to be another trip all the way back to the lab. But for now, let's at least make sure that we're having them collect the fruits. So we'll go for the fruits inside the gardens, and we'll deliver them straight to the auto feeders this time. Think you can do that, little guy? Yeah, he's looking confident. So I think what we'll do is get rid of this corral right here. And since we only have the honey tabbies to move into the overgrowth, we can spare the spot for another garden. So I guess for now we'll just plant some more of the mint mangoes, but in the future if we need to increase our supply of some other type of food, this might be a good place for us to do it. So 1 mint mango for you, and we better go ahead and purchase all of our upgrades too. Our sprinklers, our miracle mix, and our deluxe upgrade. All of those are wonderful things from Ogden, so we will never run out of mint mangoes again. Not that we were ever getting very close to running out, but hey, our honey slimes are going to be overjoyed. No! Oh, I shouldn't have made that extra little bee drone. Oh, we're going to have to see if I hopefully have another drill on the map somewhere. Oh, thank goodness I have one way out here, actually right off of our ranch, and I also have one working hard inside the indigo quarry. But I think it would be a little bit more beneficial to use the one in the dry reef, since there aren't any special resources for us to gather here. These Titan drills, I think they're called, are great for scooping up rare resources, like these strange diamonds. But since the indigo quarry is special to the indigonium, they tend to collect more of those instead. So here we go, this should be enough jellystone. We even have another strange diamond for yet another one of the market links in the future. And you know what, I was actually thinking that we could make another teleporter too. I know that we have the teleporter that takes us close to the moss blanket, but I would love to have one like right in the middle of it, so we can just warp straight to our apiaries. Maybe we could make one of these green teleporters? It's made out of the hexacombs too, so it's pretty fitting. And green would be a nice color for the jungle teleporter for sure. So yeah, as long as we have enough after we make our market link, because this definitely comes first, then we'll go ahead and grab this too. And at some point, I'll make sure to plant it down inside the moss blanket, so it'll be even easier for us to make all of our little bee drones. No more running back and forth across that big long bridge over the slime sea. So here we go, my little bees. Now I have a lovely market link for you guys to use. We'll plop it right over here up in your hive so you won't have very far to fly. And that means that we should be able to activate you next. And goodness knows that we need it. So go ahead and collect the plorts for us from the plort collectors and bring it straight over to the plort market. That would be very, very helpful. I'm sure you can already see how much work you have to do over there. And pretty soon we'll have some more honey slimes for you guys to get to know. I have my honey slimes down in Puddle Paradise right now, but I think they've had a long enough vacation, and this will free up the space for the fire half of the docks once we get our incinerator ready. Oh, I just realized the honey slimes love the little bee toys. Oh my gosh, we should fill the overgrowth with bee toys. That would be so cute. They are going to have so much fun getting to know their new little bee friends. Yeah, I bet they're going to have quite a bit of fun playing with them too. We're probably lucky that we didn't set up a free range area for the overgrowth, because I can definitely see the honey slimes like pouncing on our poor little bee drones, just like they do with their toys. They would never ever be able to get any work done. But now all of our honey slimes have successfully been moved over to the overgrowth. So it's just a matter of making sure that they have enough food to eat. Unfortunately, it does seem as if our honey tabbies are very, very hungry. So I'll just help our little bee friends along and give them some snacks. That way they won't be too irritable. This poor little guy seems like he can't find any. There's a few over here, okay? Here's one for you. There we go. Now they should be much, much happier. And look at that, our little bee butler is already feeding you. So you guys are going to be full in no time. So what else could we add around the place to make it a little bit more personal? Something to spruce it up? I suppose we could add in some of those glowing plants. I'm sure that I don't have any inside my decorations right now. Oh, but we do have a pink slime lamp, okay. Some wild grass. Yeah, what could we put in here that would look particularly fitting to the overgrowth? Let's see if we have enough resources in our lab. Yes, the glow cones and the wildflower patch. Do these actually let off little lights too? Ooh, I wonder. Well, let's go ahead and make both of these. We'll plant those down and maybe even one of the mossy trees. Yeah, I feel like that would blend in pretty well too. It uses up quite a bit of our wild honey, but now that we have that teleporter, it shouldn't be too hard for me to gather some more. Oh, and I think I actually collected one of the special ornaments too, last week. They had cloudy ornaments from the Cordo party, and I'm pretty sure that I cracked open a couple of those boxes. The question is, where did I put them? I think I may have actually put them over here. Yeah, there they are. Aren't these things gorgeous? They would actually look pretty good if we maybe like hang them from the trees or something. Like little clouds passing by through the foliage. Oh, we still have some of the hunter ornaments hanging from the trees too. I think I am going to leave those. It is very, very fitting since those hunters are just as mischievous as the tabbies. But yeah, let's go ahead and hang some of the cloud ornaments right up inside the tallest branches. I think that'll look really nice. And then as far as those glowing plants go, let's see, where would be the best place for us to put those? Maybe over here? That might be a good spot for a nice big glow cone. Oh yeah, look how bright that thing is. Oh my gosh, that is gorgeous at night. Maybe we want to make a few more of those to spread around this place. I bet our honey tabbies would enjoy having one right next to their corral too. I suppose for now we'll just plant down that wildflower patch. That way you guys will have some nice flowers to remind you of home. You know, I think the honey slimes actually do hop around the wildflowers, don't they? There's that big open field where the mint mangoes grow. So this is probably very, very nostalgic to them. And last but not least, we have our mossy tree, which I'm sure we could decorate with some echoes once we have some extras to spare. Alright, so what do you guys think of the overgrowth so far? Have we done a pretty good job of decorating the place? making it much, much more efficient than it was before. Oh, I just love seeing our bees hard at work. That is so satisfying to see all of those new bucks going straight into our pockets. In fact, we might even have enough new bucks now to get our next rank in the 7Z Rewards Club. But before we go ahead and check, I do want to make sure that we're buying some more of these buzzy bees. So here you go, guys. You can have your bee back, and we'll grab that yarn ball to give back to our hunter tabbies. They're probably missing their toys too. And it's nice to see that all of our carnivorous slimes are feeling much, much happier than they were before. Even our boom slimes seem to be having a good time. Oh, look at that. They have plenty of hen hens left over inside their auto feeders. So I think this is going to be a much better place for them to live. Maybe in the next episode, we can bring the rock slimes over to the grotto. Then we can move the incinerator over to Puddle Paradise, because I think that would be a good place for us to focus on next. It's right off of the Overgrowth, so it would be the next one on our list. And then we can move those saber slimes to their new home as well. Goodness knows these poor little slimes have been neglected too. They could really use a good meal. It seems like the soothing atmosphere of Puddle Paradise just wasn't enough to keep them happy. So as always, let me know if you guys have any ideas for our upcoming projects. I think what I would like to do in the next episode too is do a little bit more exploring around the Indigo Quarry. I'm actually hoping that those fire flowers that we found might be inside one of the treasure pots. Because if we are going to do a half and half kind of deal in Puddle Paradise, half for the water and half for the fire slimes, then I think they would really appreciate some nice big fire flower bouquets. But for now, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye guys!